Hey campers, Georgiana back in the man cave. Yep, back from Kentucky. Spent a week or so up in Kentucky, well, down in Kentucky. Got back and whoop, mailman had been by. Rough Ryder, the Calypso. Let's check it out. So what I'm talking about here is the Calypso from Rough Ryder. Now, as you know, I'm a huge Rough Ryder fan. I love Rough Ryder. You can't beat their value for money and their range. They have a lot of knives out there, especially on the traditional side, and that's why I like them. I'm a traditional guy. Okay, I'm an old guy. I like tradition. And they have some newer stuff out there, which I like. I really like their new stuff. It's pretty good. And I'm always getting them. And I was having a look online at some Rough Ryder stuff, and whoa, here was the Calypso. I'm like, what? What's the Calypso? Then I looked at it. Rough Ryder has a multi-tool. Yeah, a multi-tool. I was dumbfounded. Okay, I'm dumb, but I found it. Here it is here. Look at that. See that? I got to tell you, before everybody gets all excited about the fact that Rough Ryder has a multi-tool, it's no Leatherman. Well, yeah, you're right. It is not a Leatherman, but it's a multi-tool. And I've done videos on multi-tools, a lot of videos on multi-tools, way back. I decided to have a look at them and go through them and have a look. Never saw this guy because I don't know how long they've had this, but this is the first time I've seen it. And, you know, look at this. It's a pretty solid multi-tool. I was impressed when I first saw it, and then I got to having a look at it. Now, I haven't used, well, I lie. I've used the needle nose pliers on it. Fishnet. My bungee on it broke, and you can't just take it off. I had to bend the little clip that it's on to get that the bungee cord off and replace it. Worked fine, and it wasn't an easy bend either. It was a pretty stiff one, and I had no problem with it. Just bent it, put it back in place. So that's all I've done with it. Basically, I just wanted to show you this because I was impressed. I've seen videos on it. I then went and searched, and I had a look, and some of the guys were saying, boy, just add a couple of extras and you got a Leatherman challenge. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And I looked at it, and it doesn't have a lot of tools on. For me, plenty of tools on. I'm not a multi-tool guy. I don't carry one at work because I don't like things on my belt. I have to carry a radio, and that bothers me enough as it is. This guy, the first thing I noticed, pocket clip. And it's a pretty solid one. So that was the first thing I noticed. Now, like I said, it doesn't have a lot of tools on it. It is stainless steel, the frame. Then, surprisingly, it has D2 steel. Not the whole thing. The frame, stainless. The knife and the saw, D2 steel. And that surprised me. For Rough Ryder, that's a step up. Huge. So here I'm just going to open it up. And here you have it, yeah. There's a pretty good spring on it. Look at that. And you got your, everybody pliers on it, yeah. And you got, your teeth. And then your kind of needle nose. Not very small. You don't want it too small. This is a multi-tool. You don't want to get too fancy with it. And of course, like all the new stuff out there, it has a replaceable blade on here. In the description, they talk about the pliers, the knife, the saw, the Phillips head screwdriver, flat head, not a bottle opener, that sort of thing. And we'll look at that. This is really what I'm going to use it for. And I was looking at this, and it's a replaceable cutter on it. You see that? You just unscrew it. I want you to look at something. And I don't know if this is available on other tools. Look right here at that blade. I'm going to try and get as close as I can. You see that? Look at that. See that gap at the bottom? I'm kind of wondering if that's a wire stripper, because it's sharp on the one side. This side here, it's been sharpened. I'd never noticed before. And I've got to look at my multi-tools again and see if they have that. And of course, the blade's replaceable. How much the blades cost, well, I'm not sure. This is a fairly new thing. I'm going to say 2 years, at least, max, I would think. I'm not sure. It's not that heavy. It's actually 8.8 ounces, I think. It is closed like this, 4 inches. Not bad. It's probably typical for any decent multi-tool. So let's have a little bit looky here more at this thing. Like I said, the frame, stainless steel, and to lighten the load, you can see they've punched out a lot of steel out of the frame, which reduces the weight, which is probably a good thing, especially for somebody like me. How well does cutters work? I don't have any wire to cut. Oh, you know what? I've got a pipe cleaner here. It's got wire in it. I just want to see how well this cuts. Am I doing it right? You cut it just fine. A whole bunch of stuff. You just want it. It's a multi-tool. It's not designed to be the perfect tool. It's a jack of all trades. Which, by the way, I've got to tell you something about that expression. We use that expression a lot, jack of all trades and master of none. But that's not the whole expression. This looks pretty good. It's working for me. I like it. Working pretty good. And you got your grips and everything there. Now, like I said, the frame, stainless steel. And let's have a look at some of the other tools here. It closes up as good as any. It's stiff, which I would want anyway. I don't think flopping around. Here is see that Phillips head. To me, it's maybe a little bit small. I'm not sure. But, it's how often do we use that sort of stuff on heavy-duty stuff? If you've got a tight screw in there, I tend to stay away from multi-tools for that reason. You tend to strip heads and things like that. On the other side, here you have the bottle opener. And of course, on top, you have your flathead screwdriver. Fairly thin, will probably handle most screws you come across out there. I mean, if you need a bigger screwdriver, you're not going to use a multi-tool. So if it's a really big screw. And they do have the nail pulls on them, little unusual. They go all the way through. It's a hole all the way through. Nice, it has you can hear it clip. It's solid in there, and it has that half stop on it. Same for this one, by the way. So it does stop in there. Let's have a look at the blade. And here you have the blade. Like I said, it is D2 steel. And it's a healthy blade. It's pretty thick. It actually comes sharp. No shock there. And the length of the blade, 2.75 inches. So it's pretty healthy. And true to form, they're talking about the working edge of the blade. It does have a little choil in there. You see that? Nice ricochet. And if you look carefully, can you see it? It says D2 steel. Made in China. Yeah, it locks. It locks. The horror. Actually perfect. If you look there is a liner lock in there. Can you see that? Right here. And if you give it a little push, it'll pop right back in. Can you see the liner lock? Right there. So if you push that in, you can close the blade and it goes back down. I like that idea. The saw, which is a little bit longer, I believe it's 3 inches. Yeah, 3-inch saw. Pretty aggressive saw there, and it is a pull, I believe. Yeah, it's a pull cut. And it has a nice big pull out on it. Now, the interesting thing here is this. Anybody know what that's for? I'm not sure. Not sure why that's there, that little dip. If you do, in the comments below, let me know what it's about. Same thing again, the saw is D2 steel. And yeah, it's locked. It's in there solid. So the liner lock works pretty good. You can see. Same. Very nice. I like this tool. And really, that's about it on it. And when you think about it, if I'm going to use a multi-tool, and like I said, I'm not a big multi-tool fan, but you know what? It's a Rough Rider. It deserves my attention, and I now own one. And I'm pretty happy with it. The reason I stay away from multi-tools, one, the decent ones out there, out of my price range. And, you know, that's a deterrent for me. I'm on a budget. You know, I got to be careful what I do with my money. Do I feed myself or play with knives? So there you go. The Rough Rider Calypso. I like it. Works for me. You know, the spring on it's pretty good. The cutters are pretty good. You can replace them if, you know, something happens to the cutter. The tools, I like the tools they have. It's pretty standard. There's nothing extra on it. If you're looking for something that has all the extras, you got to look elsewhere if that's what you want. This is a basic multi-tool. And I think that they've done a good job. It works really well. I like it. And I like the pocket clip. Actually, I'm going to put it in my pocket and see how it sits in there. How well it does. Wow, actually, it does not feel that heavy. I'm surprised. That's a surprise. A lot of people prefer to carry them in a case. Rough Rider, Calypso, very nice. That half stop on there, it's nice and stiff. Things don't just flop out, so they'll probably stay in there pretty good. I do like the locking blade, the blades, the knife, and the saw. I like that. And of course, a pocket clip. Pretty sure you could find a sheath for it. It's pretty standard. How much did I pay for it? Well, that much. Yeah. That's a lot less than some of the other ones out there. To be honest, when I bought it, I went and had a look at some reviews on it, and there's not a lot of them out there. Interestingly enough, I did see a comparison to a Leatherman, and it did pretty good. So, there you go. It's well made, solid, not too heavy. Let's have a look, see what it looks like all opened up. Got to do that. Come on. And there you have it. Nice and simple. A multi-tool. Works for me. Very nice. See that? Let's put it together. Rough Rider. Look at that. Very nice. This is not something I'm going to use. It's a collection for me. And no, I'm not a collector. I see when I see Rough Rider stuff, I like their stuff, and I'll get it. I don't always use it. I like to own it and share it with everybody, so I can't complain. I've got a piece of wood, and it is a saw. Let's see. Yeah. Aggressive enough for you, huh? Yeah. That'll cut right into that. So, okay, now we got to use the knife. What good is a multi-tool without a knife? Locks in there. You ready? Here we go. Catch him. Will it cut a piece of paper? Let's see. For a multi-tool, does the job. So there you go, campers. Something different, certainly for me, for Rough Rider. The Rough Rider Calypso. Like I said, I was online and I found it. Now I got it on Smoky Mountain. I buy a lot of my Rough Riders from them. You know, their prices are competitive. And, you know, I think their shipping could be a lot better. But you know what? It arrives when you need it. If you're interested, I'll put a link below if you want to get one. Supports the channel. You know the story. I get, 3 cents for showing you this. And that's more than I'm worth. Just kidding. The Rough Ryder Calypso. Look at that. Very nice. I like the D2 steel. That surprised me. Stainless. Nice weight, size. Can't beat it. And that price, what can I say? Rough Ryder. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back. I know I've been away in Kentucky. I didn't put out a lot of videos. Kind of a sudden thing, and I wasn't prepared for it, so I had a couple of videos, shorts and that's what I made to go out there, but it was a good trip. I got lots of videos to make for you now. Lots of knives. And maybe make some stuff. Fishing. Kayak season. Gotta go fish. Just saying. And you all be safe out there. Even with these guys. They got sharp and shinies on them, and this guy's nice and shiny. And it is sharp. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.